you like to know the secret to being more attractive?
Yeah.
The way you talk.
What's that?
The way you talk.
The way you do. How about this? Hang out with ugly people. Because everything from an attractiveness perspective is relative, right? Now, I have to address something that someone mentioned when they saw that written on the board. They said, grow a mustache.
Wonder who could be.
Oh, he's late. They said grow a mustache. There are only two kinds of people in this world who should grow mustaches. Cops and porn stars. You guys aren't cops. Kind of narrows it down. Okay. I'm going to share with you the secret to mental health. Would you guys like to know the secret to mental health? Don't worry about anything. Okay, now it sounds really simplistic, but here you go. So, we've got two types of things in this world that people worry about. Those things that are outside of their control and those that are within their control. Should we worry about things that are outside our control? Absolutely not. There's nothing we can do about it. How many of you guys worry about global warming? Okay, let's ask you, is there anything you can do about that?
Spend our money where companies that actually take care of or think about global warming. Take vacations in places that will be gone in 20 years.
Okay.
Buy my dad's book.
Oh yes, her dad's a climate guy. Okay, so he's paying her tuition, so there we go. Okay.
GA, I pay my own tuition.
Oh, okay, very good. So, he feeds you. Okay, so back to the story. Oh, he's late. Here's the deal. You are 1 out of 8 billion people on this godforsaken rock. Do you think that what you do is going to make a meaningful difference in the outcome? No. Should you worry about global warming? No. Now, let's talk about what's in our control. Should we worry about the things that are in our control? No, don't worry about them. Freaking do something about them, right? Does that make sense? And let's talk about the part of global warming that's in my control. Should I plan to retire to Florida? Hell no, it's not going to be there, right? That's in my control. I'm not going to worry about it. Does that make sense? So, don't worry. Oh my goodness, you can't make yourself any taller or any better looking by worrying. It's not going to happen. Let me tell you the secret to spring break. Would you like to know the secret?
Yeah.
It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye or gets pregnant. Today, instead of giving you a secret, I'm going to give you a book recommendation. And the book recommendation is The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. And you guys can read that.
I have it.
What's that?
I have that book.
Have you read it?
Half of it. But
Okay.
Yeah, only read half of it.
Okay, so let me tell you about this book. First of all, the title really doesn't quite capture it. It's a book on how to think to make yourself more mentally healthy. Let's put it that way. It's interesting. My wife suggested it to me, and I read it. And I will tell you this: if you are sensitive to foul language, it's going to trigger you. But I'm also going to tell you that if you are sensitive to foul language, your entire life is going to be miserable because you're going to be surrounded, especially when you get out in the world of work. Oh my goodness. When I used to hang out with the mechanics from Unit 2 at the nuclear plant, woo! Right? Okay, so you get over that. You don't have to use that language yourself, but get used to being able to read it and listen to it without flipping out and having a heart attack. Anyway, the author's name is Mark Manson. I don't know if he's related to Charles Manson or not. Do you guys know who Charles Manson is? Please, at least you probably saw something on Netflix, right? That didn't even come out of your history class. Okay, someone over here said that they had read the book. Can you recommend this book?
Yeah.
Is it worth reading all the way through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you notice that chapter 1 and chapter 2 have the F word a lot? And then it trails off. Mm-hmm. And then right at the end, he kind of picks it back up again. Now, it's like Game of Thrones. The first 2 seasons, lots of nudity, lots of sex, and then what happens?
Make the switch.
Yeah, which explains why I've only seen 2 seasons. And today I would like to share with you the secret to money and happiness. Have you ever heard the expression, money can't buy happiness?
Yeah.
So it depends on where you're at. So when you first start getting money, money helps to alleviate pain and suffering, right? Because you were hungry and now you can afford a hot dog. And so things get better, get better, get better. Until your basic needs are met. And then you start to have, and it increases but at a decreasing rate, your happiness based on the amount of money that you're getting. And this is what we refer to as the hedonic treadmill. Oh, for shame, she's late. She smiles though, and she knows that is disarming. Okay. So, where was I at? Okay, the hedonic treadmill. Hedonic, from the same root word as hedonism, it's basically about enjoyment. And the idea is this: when you're on the hedonic treadmill, so you achieve the next level of wealth. And just for a moment, you feel better. But then it becomes the new normal. And then, oh, for shame, she's even later. Okay, so it becomes the new normal. And then you're like, well, how am I going to be happier? Well, I need more money. I need more money. Now, here's the weird thing. When you get into this range and you start asking people, how much more money would it take to make you happy? Weirdly enough, the answer is almost always 20%. So, someone who was making $80,000 a year, you ask them, they say 20%, now they're up to $96,000 a year. And what do they say next year when you ask them? 20%. Now, here's the trick. Once you figure that out, then you can, once you're aware of this fact, it helps you to think a whole lot more about what you're willing to do to get more money, right? And so I've told you before, I am as high as I want to go in this organization. Why? Because I'm out here in this area where having more money won't give me all that much more happiness. It'll give me a little, but not nearly enough to get there. In fact, when you get out into this range, the only reason left to go after money is from a scorekeeping perspective, right? Scorekeeping. And so then if you just think about yourself in your own situation and what you've got, and are you happy with that, and then you no longer have to think about the whole scorekeeping thing, then you can start thinking about what is it that really makes me happy and during all this time that I would have been chasing after money. I know it sounds really weird to have a finance professor tell you that you shouldn't be out there chasing money. After a point. Questions? Yeah?
Does the chart account for the time value?
Does the chart account for the time value of money? So you're wanting a third dimension coming out this way. Well, there is a time dimension to this though, but it has to do with this, the idea of the money. So when I'm a little boy, or not a little boy, I was a young man, I was talking to my grandfather. He said, you know, when you're an old man, you have money, but you don't need it. And when you're a young man, you don't have money, but you do need it. And I said, well, old man, I think we can help solve each other's problems. And he laughed and said, not until I'm dead. Then he left all the money to my mom, so now, well, it's going to be a long, long time before I see any of his money. Okay. By the way, don't spend your life waiting for someone to die. Get out and make your own money. Questions?